Syria's oil reserves are significantly smaller than other West Asian countries. But until 2010, it is accounted for a quarter of the government revenue. So, where do Syria's oil and gas reserves stand now, and what can they do to rebuild the country? Let's find out. Who controls the oil and gas resources in Syria? News9 Plus decodes. The biggest oil fields in and around Raqqa, the former Islamic State capital, are controlled by the Syrian Democratic Forces, or SDF. SDF is an alliance of Kurdish and Arab militia who are backed by US and allies. SDF also controls a quarter that lies east of the Euphrates, in northeast Syria. Bloc 26 is under force majeure due to the UK's sanctions. Force majeure means a provision that frees any parties of liabilities because of unforeseen events that pose difficulty in completing obligations. Oil was produced in the Ebla development in the Syrian gas basin by Suncor Energy Inc. until 2011. Russian company Evropolis too had a contract with the Syrian government until 2018. That year, US put sanctions on the company. The eastern Deir ez-Zor governorate holds around 40% of the country's oil reserves and several gas fields. How has the war in Syria impacted the energy sector? The 13-year-long civil war in the country made the energy sector extremely weak and crippled. The country had been dependent on imports from Iran. Syria last exported oil in 2011. It stopped after international sanctions made it dependent on fuel imports from Iran. Before these sanctions, Syria produced 383,000 barrels per day of oil and liquids. In 2023, oil and liquid production fell to 40,000 barrels per day. Natural gas production also saw a huge fall from 8.7 billion cubic meters in 2011 to 3 billion cubic meters in 2023. How will the oil and gas reserves evolve after Assad's fall? Many believe rebuilding Syria's oil and gas reserves would be critical to revival. Experts say the reserves can be bettered with better security and waivers to international sanctions. The continued conflict in the area poses severe risks to a better future. Yet, it is clear that revenue from oil and gas can be helpful in the country's rebuilding.